there's stuff in the way.
There's a bunch of trees.
And we're looking to vacate just 10 feet of it, not the whole street. So it's 10 feet on his side, abutting that property, so there's still gonna be the area on the other side, cause there's a house back behind on the
On the
west side
There's
of the
two
street.
houses.
So it's 10 feet is what we're looking at.
Okay, so if we vacate 10 feet, do the city boys then still grade or move snow along the other side of it then?
Yeah, because the 10 feet would not include the roadway at all, it's still off to the east of the road.
Yeah, if you look at the survey that you have, maybe pull that out.
We better see it.
I think so.
So,
So the survey has their 66-foot right of way, and so the 10 feet would just reduce that 66 feet, and if you see from the picture that was included, you can see where the actual roadway is, it's not the full width of that property. So there is a portion of it, like his garage there actually was over the property line, so it's trying to clean up some of that stuff that currently was there, so that that 10 feet would just be closer to the roadway than what it is currently. So instead of it being that 66, it would be 55. Excuse me.
It's actually gonna clean it up and make more sense of aesthetically.
And we did notify the DNR, I didn't get a letter from them. We notified property owners and put in the paper. So I haven't received any type of notice or anything from anybody regarding this property or this vacation.
Here present besides Tom B to talk to us about either, right?
No.
yeah, we did this block for
We did.
the property.
Or, K Street, I think. it is.
Hay Street, I did it for Kevin Hagelin, we did do it there, and then his went into the lake too, so we did the part on the lake side. So there's a couple different vacations we did there. So we, just so the council are, we vacate this portion, so legally we get a legal description, we vacate it. Then it's up to Tom to then claim this property as his, we don't go through that process, so it's not our cost. If he wants to have this as property, he needs to go and go through the steps to do that. To claim.
I'd make a motion to approve vacation.
We have to close.
Wait for public hearings. But do you want to move on, close the public
Make that
hearing?
motion, close public hearing. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to close, the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'll make a motion to approve vacation of the east 10 feet.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 25-24, to vacate, to approve vacation of the east 10 feet of 7th Avenue for Tom Borges. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
25, 24, 25, 34, and 74, just for the record.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, and then we will skip over the liquor store for a minute. And move on to project 197 water. All we really have is a application number 22 for the final water plant payment. Total bill of $18,685.66.
To approve the Eagle Construction invoice. Number 22.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Eagle Construction invoice number 22 for $18,685.66. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Should be our final bill.
I see that we don't have Craig on here anywhere other than up in the consent.
Yeah,
Is there anything that you need?
No.
Craig?
You got anything for me, so?
Nope. Just wanted to make sure that you didn't have to sit there. Did you get, a phone number from Kevin?
I didn't. He hasn't replied. No, so no.
Move on to project number 49. We do have a WSB invoice to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the WSB invoice of $1,276.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve WSB invoice for $1,276. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I know that they have sent us, WSB has sent us, a proposal for, professional services on, the Main Street lateral line project. Do we want to hear what Kevin has to say, or I know we told him to go ahead and get started on that. Should we just approve this proposal?
I think the one thing to just look at would be the timeline, if you guys have any concerns with that, and then otherwise, I think moving forward is probably the best thing, to at least get to the feasibility report finished, so that we can have a meeting and discuss what they found and what assessments we're looking at. Here's a timeline, I think it's on the third page there, so.
Now, does this follow pretty close to our guideline timeline?
Pretty close.
And it was, okay,
I
it looks
think we're
pretty
gonna be a
close.
little bit behind, but
Yeah.
I think it was, let's see, design. Yeah, bidding the sewer project from February to March, and then construction April to November.
And we're
So
looking
we're
at,
pretty close.
yeah, we're pretty close, because he's looking at opening bids on April 30th, so we're a month or so off.
It's pretty close than what we were looking at. Just good.
So I feel like it would be fine to have him get to the feasibility part of it. I know he has final plans in here too, but, I guess I always hesitate to say do full plans until, if you don't have that information, because if something comes up that's really odd, maybe we need to discuss, and now they've already spent the money.
But we could make a motion to approve the proposal up through his February 9th timeline. Correct?
Right, yeah,
And that would put us through the
feasibility report to set a public hearing, yep.
And it's kind of already told to do it, so I would make that.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
motion has been made and seconded to accept a WSB proposal through the timeline of February 9th. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to project number 444-419. Nero Engineering Service Agreement and project scope has been attached. And, working on the, project for the sediment ponds. Should probably look at getting started on that also.
I think at the last meeting, we were talking about it, we kinda got off on
Yes, we
a
did.
couple of the things, and I don't think we officially approved for him to move forward, at least with those first two
Yeah,
steps, so then we can apply for funding, so. I think we need a motion then.
we can make a motion to have Miro move on with task 1 and 2, and that would get us to our preliminary.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then we can apply for funding.
I'll make that motion for Miro Engineering to move forward with task 1 of development and task 2 of the preliminary. Thank you.
Second.
motion has been made and seconded to authorize Miro Engineering to move forward with task 1 development and task 2 preliminary design. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we will look at project number 24, the liquor store.
Hello.
Hi. So, we have been doing meat raffle on Sundays, that's been going really good, at 3:30. We're gonna run that through the rest of the football season, and then when it's done, we're gonna move it to Bargo's on Saturday. We're gonna stay off of Friday nights, seeing as there's 2 other liquor stores or other establishments in town that are doing it, and it wasn't always like good fighting for customers, just doesn't make sense. And it's actually been working pretty good for us on Sunday. We ended up with about 22 people that came in after the game, which was people we didn't have on Sundays before, so that was good. Just some other things to bring up, the CO2 that got switched out, that's working great. That's one of the things moving forward into next year, we'll probably end up saving just under $3,000, not having the old tanks. I did a little math on where we're at right now too. So far this year, between both the on-sale and off-sale, we're at $26,909.21 in credit card fees. That's all gonna be going away. So that's all revenue we could potentially be having for 2026. So that'll be a nice one there. Then I just kind of wanted to hit a little bit on some of the percentages for cost of sales and what's been going on there. And I went back to, just because it was one that I had, and there was a pretty big discrepancy in March where we were running 0.49% in liquor sales. That's what our margins were for on sale. And even 3 months ago, we were at, I think it was like 14.2. And I went in, found a bunch of stuff that was priced wrong, costs were wrong. We found a bunch of credits that hadn't been applied properly. And now we actually, if you look this month, we're at 22.56% gross profit for off-sale liquor sales. And that was one of the big ones. We've also gone up in basically 2 to 3% on everything except for beer. And I was looking into that today when I had some time. And I think that has a lot to do with our seltzers. So they're a high cost, low margin item. And with having them on sales and then also doing them, because it's on both sides too, so also doing them we're showing up gross profit on sale, but I know we're losing some there too in the seltzer sales because they all get categorized in beer. So I'm hoping we can maybe split that category moving into 2026, we get better reporting. But it's also because it's such a tight margin on the one side and then we're doing the half off on those. So I'm thinking going into 2026, that might be an item where we just need to do $1 off or $1.50 off, like some of the other places do on everything. And I think that'll help us on that number too. But overall, for on sale, I know we're up, for liquor sales, we're up 2%. Wine sales, we're up 1% on that from back in March. And I kind of took March because of December. I started in the middle, January, February, trying to get some stuff figured out. And we were still running the 2 phones and a bunch of other stuff that was going on. So I think we're trending in the right direction. The new POS system for the liquor store will be going in on the 16th, next week, Tuesday. We got training in place for that. Jeff's gonna be there, and then I'll be working that following weekend to make sure we're training with all the staff. But with that going into place, like we were talking about at our meeting, we'll be able to start kind of dialing in, and I wanna see what's going on with our inventory that just keeps going. And I think that'll be a good thing. We're gonna do a full inventory with the new system with current on hands, and then we'll do an inventory with the old system. So we have something to compare and contrast on that. And then hopefully get our hands around that a little bit better and see if there's items that previously might have been being ordered by the bottle that I didn't know was being ordered by the bottle, and we ordered it by a case, and now we're sitting with 6 months worth of product or a year worth of product. If that's the case, then I'm gonna organize some sales, and we might just take, instead of making 30% profit on it, we might just make 15 just to roll through it, so it's not sitting in our shelves, and we start using that money for other resources. So big one, I mean, I think the switching over to the POS and getting the credit card fees gone, so we're not paying that anymore. That's gonna be a lot of revenue coming back to the side, which I think is important. I think we're doing a lot of things in the right direction, to get stuff go.
I was gonna say, yeah, and I'm hoping we can get this inventory
Yeah.
figured out, because, like I say, you and I discussed, it shouldn't be climbing now in November, December.
Right, and I mean, if you look at the actual order on that, it is close to the year previous, but it's staying there too. And I think if you start looking at some items, even if you took, let's say there's 15 things that we used to order by the bottle, and without having the current like numbers to know what our rotations were on that, if we ordered that by the case, well, I mean, that it wouldn't take long to have 20 grand sitting there, that's just sitting there. So, because after our last time, I kind of looked in and started looking at that a little bit more, and I think that we'll be able to get it figured out, and we'll try to remedy that within the first couple of months, whether that's doing sale items, maybe doing a monthly special where we just red tag stuff and see if we can roll through that so we can get that revenue down. On that revenue up, but get the overhead down so we have that money back to spend where we need it. And then I know that off-sale 2 beers went a little bit lower. There was, they've taken 2 price jumps in the last 2 months, and they just done another one today. Those haven't been adjusted in the system yet. So we're still running, they were price marked off of the margin we're at, and we're actually running 2 to 3% less than that right now. I'll take care of that after the first year, because it's just gonna be easier with all the new pricing I'm putting in the system now to adjust it.
Are you gonna start using the new off-sale POS
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday?
Yep, well, it'll go effective immediately that day. All the back house stuff, I finally finished all that up last week, Wednesday, with them, so everything's good to go on that. I am currently switching out the dual pricing tags. I'll have those up by the end of the week. And people are asking about them, we're walking through that, so getting familiar with cashes on this side, credits on this side. Price difference is what we're paying, and it's just like everybody else in town that's charging a fee for credit cards. It's just we're only charging it on a purchase instead of all your purchases. You can save money by using cash. So those are the biggest things that I had, that I just wanted to touch base on. There's the other thing I wanted to issue to is, we have a lot of stuff that falls under miscellaneous categories, under supply categories, and they've never been received. We just keep ordering them, and then we're getting that dollar amount when we're catching it on the invoice, and we're trying to track it on both sides. But it's actually, we don't know what we're running through, how much we're running through, how much we truly have on hand. So with the new system, we'll be able to put in paper towels, garbage bags, paper bags, and actually track that stuff that's just been under a big heading. That's why there's so many. Some months it's negative, some months it's positive, and it's not being split right between the 2 locations or the 2 businesses. And that'll be the other big thing is with the new inventory system, the way it's set up, is we'll be able to transfer everything to the on sale as a customer. So we'll know exactly what's being used there, what's being used here. So things that we're splitting at a 50-50 cost might end up being a 15, 75 or 85, I'm sorry, yeah, 50. Do the right math, right? So that, I'm recognizing a lot of that, getting our hands around it, I think is gonna be very helpful. And I think we're gonna have a lot better idea of where we're at going into January than we've had for quite some time. So I'm looking very forward to it. Also, Lynette will be able to log in and she can run reports. If you want to get a login and look at stuff, you're gonna be able to do it. On the 15th, the new camera system's coming in. And then we'll actually have a login for that too. So if people want to, if we have an issue, you need to log in, or if you want to check in on a shift, we can, whoever we want to have logins for that. And then obviously Angela and them have one so that if something would happen, we're not in the situation where we're before, where if the manager walks away and keeps all the passwords or doesn't want to turn over the information, we're behind the 8 ball trying to figure all that stuff out again. And that'll also help with some of the other issues. Touching base on the gaming revenue, I have a policy that I wrote up. I make a couple more adjustments this week, and I'm hoping to get that to Angela so that at the beginning of the year, we'll have a brand new POS policy in place. And in doing that, Kevin and them have agreed to bring in a machine for us too. His biggest concern was, without having a policy in place, what are you gonna do with discrepancies when we're missing money or something short or something's over? How are you gonna handle that? And he didn't want it to come back on them, so he wanted a strict policy in place so we know how we're gonna handle those transactions internally first. So I got that mostly written up. It's a lot longer than it needs to be, so I just need to kind of cut it down and then make sure we're catching everything we need to hit, and then I'm gonna get approval from Angela to make sure that, and you and Tim, to make sure we're beyond that. We can even present this to the whole council if you guys want to do a vote on that at the beginning of the year. The last thing would be, I'm hoping January, February, there's a lot going on now, and we're almost to Christmas, so with the parking lot stuff, I figure we're just beginning next year, and then the spring, I'll get some better numbers around that, and we'll consider that moving on in the future too. If there's anything else from anybody?
Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you for such a great report. Thank you for such
You're welcome.
attention to detail and getting a lot of these things corrected, really looking to be cost efficient. It is greatly appreciated.
Oh, we all want to have it make money. The more money the liquor store makes.
I was gonna say, yeah, we want to do better next year than we're doing this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel we're gonna see really in January, February, after doing both inventories and being on the new system, we're gonna see better reporting, and it's actually gonna be, I feel like the numbers are gonna be accurate to what's going on, which is gonna allow us to make better decisions moving forward on what we need to do.
We need help for inventory.
I don't think we did.
Oh.
And because the way this works is, so me and Jeff and I are gonna do a team building in December here to do the count on the old system. With the new system, I literally can push a cart around and do sections and hook the scan gun up to the laptop.
Oh, no.
And I can scan the bottles and type it in. I just did all the tag. I did one whole roll of tape in 25 minutes, which used to, doing price check, changes on 10 items used to take me 30. So, yeah, it'll be nice. And that's what I'm hoping moving forward is we won't have to do New Year's Day or do that, because we'll actually be able to do an inventory of the vodka and then note the date we did it, and then we'll be able to run a report from that date forward so we know what we did in sales and what came in and invoicing.
Great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you guys.
Okay, project 102, EDA. Next are EDA minutes. For us to approve. And also, the EDA board received the resignation of Connie Danielson. They have sent a recommendation to us, to replace her with Donna Carl, on that board. So I'm looking at approving the minutes and see if you guys will approve the appointment of LaDonna Carl to the EDA board in the position of the community at large.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 24th, 2025 meeting and accepting the resignation of Tanya Danielson and appointing LaDonna Carl to the EDA as the community at large.
Okay.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve EDA minutes from 11/24/25 and the appointment of LaDonna Carl to the EDA board in the position of community at large. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Project 312, beautification team, we have no updates there, unless Amber has sent you something. No. But just a reminder of our, what are the decades? What's
Decades party.
the decades party on February 21st, I believe, at, I want to say Crooked Willow? Crooked Willow.
Yep.
Tickets can be purchased at True Building Hardware for $60.
I think the pub might have tickets.
Okay. Come join the fun and support the beautification team. Project number 441, Park Committee. Attached are the minutes and also, an invoice that we need to look at, and, they have sent us a project manual, phase 1 improvements of, the park. So I know they are moving on with, archaeological review, so we can get the shelter ordered, and, hopefully all will go well, that we can start that project in early spring.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 25th, 2025 meeting.
Good.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve minutes from 11/25/25 meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'll also make a motion to approve the WSB invoice to Park Osagi for $10,193.50.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve WSB invoice for Park Osagi Engineering for $10,193.50. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And Angela, in your email that you sent us, are you just like wanting us like in verbal agreement to continue to move forward with this because
Well, I
was it
think-
your email or?
Yeah, I have a copy on the spot too,
Yeah.
but what they were looking for is he didn't have the plans ready when I sent out packets, but the park board's gonna meet next week. He wants to have some final approval so that they can go out for bidding, on this. Otherwise, if the council wants approval, we can have a meeting, but waiting until January 12th, I think, is too long to do that, so I think the plans are gonna stay pretty much the same. If we change something, it's gonna be very minute. It's not gonna be like you approve this and we're doing something completely different, but I don't anticipate really anything changing. But he did go through it a few times with us, at the meeting, and Judy's been at those meetings too. I mean, there's not, I think, much more we're gonna change at this point. We went through the splash pad more than once in the building, and, we're only doing phase 1. There's a phase 2 part of it, which is a walking path and some parking area and that, so I talked to them about applying for maybe a grant to finish up the second phase, to have something different. So the first phase is the shelter, the parking lot, the access to those things, and the splash pad. So we have to have access to the shelter, to the overlook, and to the splash pad, all handicap accessible as part of our grant. So that's what's included in it.
Would you like that in the form of a motion?
I would, yeah, if you guys are comfortable with that.
I will make a motion to move forward with Park Osaki phase 1 as the park committee sees fit.
Motion is made and seconded to move forward with phase 1 of Park Osagi improvements. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 196, fee schedule. Angela has attached the fee schedule for us. I did not see any other changes other than the ones that have been proposed. Anyone else have anything they would like to see changed or amended in here before we go ahead and approve?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-33 adopting the 2026 fee schedule and charging of expenses for the city of Osakis.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 2025-33, adopting the 2026 fee schedule, charges and expenses for the city of Osakis effective January 1, 2026. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 50, transfers. Angela is in the process of cleaning up some accounts that have been used for project and transfer them to help pay the debt for the project. If you want to come up and discuss some of this, Angela, that'd be great.
So, on your sheet, I didn't have an amount on each one because I wanted to make sure we had our final December numbers, but the funds that I had on there, the 640 PFA and the 630 PFA, that was all funding we received when we redid both 2017 project and the downtown project. So we had PFA money that we received for that. When you ask for funding, you get so much money, you don't use it all, you still get the money. You're using it to pay your debt. So since then, I've been just using some of it each time to pay it, and it's been in our budget, but when the auditors come, they just combine it into one fund. They're just looking at it as one thing, so you know what, I said, why do I go through all the work, I just transfer that one, just put it in the fund, and then it's there to pay the debt just like we would. So that's basically the reason for the first two. So the 640 PFA to the sewer fund, 601, it was 51,816.52 is what I have in there. The 630, the PFA one to the water is 112,622.39. The next one is the TIF fund. So the downtown district, we aren't levying any money to pay for that bond. So the TIF fund that is generated for downtown pays for all that bond. So each year, the money that we have, we put into that bond fund to pay for it. So I'm just asking to use the money that we've collected now from the taxes to put into this 516, which is 19,948.69. And then the last one is the main lift station. So when we did phase one of the main lift station, we had received the bond, and Jason and I talked about this back and forth for a while. And we were gonna use some of that money to buy down maybe the bond we just were doing. But because we have to do this wastewater project and some of that, we really don't have funds in there to pay for all this. We're just leaving it to be part of that sewer fund, which is where the auditors put it anyway. And that's 265,252.30. So I'm just asking to move that to then the 601 fund and use that to pay for these things we have coming up. So hopefully that makes sense. Just clean it up, then we don't have to worry about transferring it each year and having it in the budget. And that's the reason for the request. Questions on that? Or I can go over it again.
I have no questions.
Anything sense?
I will make the motion to approve the transfers from the four listed accounts into their respective accounts presented to us.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve transfers before end of year 2025 on the attached funds as Angela presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Gas bid.
You're not gonna read on this here.
Come on.
Don't make any sense.
This makes me look like a fool.
Stumble on preliminary.
Yeah. Okay. So Northdale Oil has provided us a bid. Hey, look, I better.
I can read it too if you want.
No, I just wanted to, should I read the whole thing? Or just the,
I think you're just looking to see what discount they're giving us at the pump rate.
okay, as of December 1st, 2025, the following rates with them right now are ethanol, gas per gallon. Current price is $2.79, and proposed discount per gallon $2.59, so 20 cents. Diesel, current price per gallon $3.59, and again giving us a 20-cent discount. They do have winter blend available for the diesel and 24-hour per day access. And bulk diesel is not available, so that's just basically pump. The second bid is from Deluxe Oil, and this is for bulk diesel only. And current price right now is $3.17.9 or $3.179. And they are proposing to give us a 7-cent discount if paid within 30 days. Do we use a lot of bulk diesel?
The shop gets bulk,
Okay,
that's the only one.
so we only have 2 bids, one for the bulk and one for the at the pump from Northdale.
So then we probably accept both of them, because they're for different
Yes.
purposes,
Yeah,
yeah.
different purposes.
Both bids.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve low bid with Northdale Oil for gas and diesel for 2026 year with a savings of 20 cents per gallon on gas and a savings of 20 cents per gallon on diesel. And approve low bid of 3.179 from Deluxe Oil for bulk diesel with a discount of 7 cents if paid within 30 days. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project 382, MOU with the union AFSCME. They're asking for additional wording in their union contract with the new Minnesota state law for paid family leave. Angela and I have looked over the wording of this MOU, and it basically follows what our personnel policy says. And all they're asking for is for us to say that it's a 50-50 split, which that's exactly what we're doing. that in using their accrued paid leave, or they can supplement their paid family leave with any type of sick leave or comp time that they have available through the city, not to exceed 100% of their wage. And pretty much that's what it's. all
That's
that
what our
they're asking
policy
for.
was.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU for the union of the AFSCME.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve MOU with the AFSCME union. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 472, Minnesota Housing 2025, Minnesota City Participation Program application. The Minnesota Housing Program is offered statewide, so anyone can participate. By choosing to enroll, the city is added to the approved participation list and receives the first option to access available funds. It also allows the city to promote the program locally, which helps show the public that we support first-time homebuyers in our community. Through this program, the state of Minnesota allocates funds to participating communities to assist first-time homebuyers with down payments or closing cost needs. These funds are accessed through local lenders when applicants apply for the program. One requirement is that the participating communities must use at least 50% of their allocated funds each year in order to remain eligible the following year. The city of Osakis participated in the program since 2023. We have successfully been meeting the 50% usage requirement each year, and because of that, we are eligible to apply again for 2026. I think it's a good program, and I think Angela should proceed with the application as long as you are all in agreement.
I have a motion for that.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve City of Osakis participate in the MCPP program for 2026 and authorize Clerk Jacobson to submit the application. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project 79 auditors, Carlson SV has sent us the contract for doing our audit for the 2025 year. Their fee, of course, is going up a little bit, increasing to $2,000, so the 2025 audit would be $23,900.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
RFP contract.
I'll second that.
Motion is made and seconded to approve Carlson SV contract for $23,900. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 3, elected officials training. Elected officials training is available through the League of Minnesota Cities, online and in person. Attached is information on the training they provide. If anyone would like to attend, please let Angela know, and she can set it up for us. And this is paid by the city. I went to it last year. I was with Randy, and I thought they did a good job. And it was, especially for somebody brand new. You guys have all had a little bit of experience, but there is a second tier for the next level leaders program that is I will probably have Angela sign me up. But if you guys want to take a look at that, let her know if any of you are interested. It's a good day and a half of information. I think they do a very good job.
And one comment is the second tier one is actually held in Alexandria, so
Yep.
it's really close to do. They do some online and then in-person stuff. it's always worthwhile because I always learn something in everything that I go to, there's always something new.
And I think they did a very good job in presenting, the material that they had for us. So, I did the online first, and it was basically the seminar or convention that you go to, pretty much just mirrors what you did online. But then you had kind of an idea going in what you were gonna be looking at, but it was very interesting. So, met lots of people. From little towns like ours. Okay, and then Angela has added, number 2, building discussion.
I sent this by email too, just so you have it.
Is there anything we really need to do with this today, or is this just something that we need to?
Well, I think he's asking two things. We had asked about them just giving a cost estimate on the plan that we had drafted up in 2020, and he does have a cost estimate. I think it's on maybe page 5 or 6 there. In today's dollars, what he anticipates the cost would be. The other thing is if you wanted to move forward with plans, he does have a proposal in there for them to move forward with drawing something up a little bit more concrete. Doesn't mean you have to do it today. I always just want to get this information out so you guys could view it, think about it, and then you can also at a later date make a motion if you want to move forward with planning. He does have a timeline in there to do things if you wanted to kind of keep on a schedule. Just wanted to kind of lay out, if you did do something, go through the process, this one you can anticipate something being done, so you kind of know what time frame you're looking at too, so.
But this is something that we could really just meet with Darren about too, just to make sure that everything is good there, and if we put it off for a month, it's not gonna change the
No,
outcome.
and you're right, I mean, maybe you and Tim would wanna just sit down and go over a little bit and just talk about some of the details of it and then come back to council.
Right, cause it's still the old plan with.
Yeah, what's the whole thing, yeah, we had talked about, yeah. So you can do it in phasing or whatever, you just put it all together so you can see what we're looking at, yep.
And now these costs that he sent us were for the precast.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
So yeah, if some kind of, you get together with Darren.
And based off of this plan, right?
Yeah, yeah, he has, like I said, on page 6 or something, he breaks out the different sections, so if you wanted to, like I say, do different parts or phase it, you kind of have some ideas of what it would be. Obviously without going out for bid, but
Yeah.
just looking at buildings they've done and what they think they cost per square foot, he said, so. Gives you a close number anyway.
think if we do anything, we should go with the plan, only do push the smaller chunk.
Right. I wouldn't be opposed, we can talk about this later too, but I wouldn't be opposed to doing a little garage there for. Right?
Yeah, I would,
Because
yeah, I would,
we're building.
I was gonna say, I would look at 1 and 2, I think, the vehicle storage and the police and wash bay. Are you guys all okay with that?
Yep.
As far as the city offices, we could always look at that at a later time.
Yep.
But yeah, let's plan to see if we can get together with Aaron sometime and go through this, just to make sure we have everything that we need. Or that he needs.
Right.
Before we move ahead, asking Woodson to try and put together any kind of plans for us.
And there's no public funding for this, if I remember correct.
No,
Not really, no, unless you have a reason to use it for some public purposes, so if you have like a community room that other people could use it, there is some funding that way, but. Yeah. So much.
I was gonna say, but even public funding that way, how much would it actually come to?
Probably not a lot, you might get 100,000 or 200,000, I mean, it's not gonna be a lot for $3 million. Then usually you have to meet other requirements too.
I mean, because even if we move forward after the first year, we're still looking at 2027 before we would actually. think about doing it. All right. There's nothing further, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to address the council.
Okay, so we've done away with open floor, but I know that it's been short notice, so
And this won't take very long.
I will grant this one time.
I got a letter on my car the other day, on Friday, I believe it was. It was on looks like it's the 5th. Okay, this was during the day I parked on the street. I was moving some vehicles out of my yard, getting rid of them. And I believe it was a road grader, whoever runs the road grader. They said they were plowing snow. They did not leave their name on the note. And from what I understand, it wasn't snowing. They were getting where everybody parks, cleaning that up a little bit. About 6:30, 7 o'clock, I had my vehicle off the road. I was moving 2 vehicles, getting them out of my yard. Now, if somebody works for the city, wants to leave a note on my vehicle or whatever, I would think they should be able to leave their name with it so I can discuss what the deal is.
Tell you what, you leave me your phone number and I will discuss this with you. I'll give you a call tomorrow. And I will make some phone calls and I will see what I can do and find out why.
I wouldn't mind it so bad if it was snowing cats and dogs and I had my vehicle out there.
Yeah, no, I'll, like I say, I'll get some information from you here in just a little bit, and if you don't mind waiting a few.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I talked to